You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. LSU was awful last year at special teams. You know that. That's not any breaking news. We've talked about it a lot in this offseason. Talked about it a lot last year, including the opener when you muffed a couple of punts and you had a PAT block that would have tied it, and then all throughout the season it never really changed. Do you realize in the special teams efficiency rating, LSU was 127th last year out of 131 teams? That's impossibly bad. At a place like LSU, with the amount of resources you have, the talent you have on the field, to be 127th out of 131 teams in a special teams efficiency ranking is unforgivable. That's why Brian Polian is not a coach on the field at LSU anymore. Just to spell it out a little more, LSU's opponents had 706 kick return yards last year. LSU had 327. On average, LSU's opponents on kickoff returns averaged 23.5 yards per return, LSU 20.4. Punt return. You know how many yards LSU averaged on punt returns last year? You want to take a guess? Paulie, Muse, y'all know? LSU punt return average yards per return last year.
2.
Not 2.
I'll say 8.
It's 3.3. They averaged 3.3 yards. That's essentially you caught the ball and fell down forward. I mean, that's terrible. This is a place that has boasted Eddie Kennison and Kevin Falk and Dominic Davis and Skylar Green and Trendon Holiday and Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, Odell Beckham, DJ Chark, Dante Jackson, Derek Stingley, even Trey Palmer return a kickoff for a touchdown in Tiger Stadium, letting Condon die in peace. That streak that Eric Martin had started back against Kentucky in 1981 finally came to an end. And they averaged 3 yards a punt return last year. That's terrible. Charles Barkley would say, that's terrible. And it was. They cannot possibly be worse. Brian Kelly said it. Said it on Monday. Special teams, they should be really good at special teams coming up this year.
They got to field the ball. They've got to be able to do the little things the right way. But from a special team standpoint, that's what we were looking for. Our miscues last year were evident, right? We didn't field the ball very well. But that coupled with Damon Ramos has been outstanding, with field goals throughout camp. And Jay Bramlett has been a weapon. We think special teams should and can be a positive for us and influence games.
Jay Bramlett wasn't bad last year. LSU's coverage was bad. LSU's net punting average was 39.4 yards. Your net average, again, so that's the punt. Bramlett averaged 43 yards a punt, but the net was terrible. 39 yards net on a punt. Your opponents netted 43.2 yards. Hell, sometimes you didn't even bother fielding it. Just let it bounce around. It was always an adventure, man. Should be better. How could you be worse? Brian Kelly did announce something we had been waiting for, which is who the returners were going to be, considering we've seen a lot of guys back there rotating and working at punt return and kickoff return.
We're going to go with a true freshman and Caleb Jackson as the off returner. And, I think, having, a dynamic
He's fighting
player.
It. He's looking for it.
At the other side, who am I missing? Who's my dynamic player? Aaron. He's pretty dynamic. He'll be the on-ball returner and our punt returner.
I think Aaron Anderson cannot help but make LSU better. All of the reason that people are optimistic about him, you should be. I know he had a knee injury last year, which cost him the bulk of his season at Alabama. I think he played in one game for Alabama last year. That was an Alabama team that really struggled to find relevant receiving help. They brought in the transfer from Louisville, whose name I never remember. Call me Brian Kelly. But they just never found it in that receiving core last year after they lost Jamison Williams to the NFL and a great receivers from 2 years ago. Aaron Anderson would have helped them tremendously. And he is LSU's great, to LSU's great benefit, he'll be wearing the purple and gold on Sunday. And I will make this prediction. This is not a super bold prediction, but I'll tell you, I believe we will see Aaron Anderson touch the ball in 3 different ways on Sunday. He will return a kick, be it a punt or a field goal or a kickoff. We will see him catch a pass, and we will see him with at least one rushing attempt. Where we saw Malik Neighbors in the bowl game on that jet sweep, and he did beautifully with it, Aaron Anderson will do that on Sunday. I can almost guarantee it. It's like when you had Trenton Holiday. You're just guaranteed he was going to put him in the game, put him in motion. Everybody knows what's coming, but when you get that dude a running head start, good luck beating him to the edge. That's kind of what it's going to be like. So Aaron Anderson will make LSU better. Damian Ramos had a good year last year. He wasn't Cade York, but I think Ramos was let's see there. LSU was 10 of 14 on field goals last year. And 59 of 61 on PATs. Of course, they had the 2 blocked. So Ramos had a good year kicking the football. Bramblett was good. You just couldn't cover the punts. Dybert is a perfectly serviceable kickoff guy. You got to get better in the return game, and you got to be able to cover kicks and punts better. That's really where LSU was terrible. Anderson makes you more dynamic in the return game immediately. And we talked so much in this offseason about how LSU has committed starters, guys on the 2 deep, to their coverage units, which is going to make them better. You're putting your better players on the field. I don't know how much better they're going to be. I'm not going to tell you that they're going to go from being the 4th to the bottom of college football in special teams efficiency to being top 5. But even if you're 50% better, and you're in the middle of the pack of college football, you're dramatically better than you. I think that is a realistic expectation for this team year to year. We'll know very, very quickly. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.